student. I am Sharda and I am associated with Ellen Misra College of Business Management. Today I am taking one topic from the subject Security Analysis and Portfolio Management. The topic of today's lecture is Portfolio Management. What do you understand by portfolio? Portfolio is a bunch of security one person or one individual is holding at one particular time of period. It means the portfolio may be constructed with a different type of security. It may be a risky financial assets. It may be the composition of less risky financial assets like debt instrument, like bond, like debenture, and it may also have a very risky investment assets like security or equity or preference, and other instruments are also there. They are like warrant and other type of instrument, in which basically the portfolio is a different composition of assets one person is holding at one particular time of period. Now, what is portfolio management? Basically, when one person is holding a portfolio or constructing a portfolio, what is the theme or what is the basic objective behind the construction of portfolio? One person is thinking that he or she must construct a portfolio in a manner that will optimize or that will give a best risk and return trade-off. It means the person must get a higher rate of return at a given level of risk, or they can minimize the risk at a given level of return. It means how optimal you can construct a portfolio so that you can get a best return or best output from your portfolio. Now, moving toward the different step you need to follow for constructing an optimum portfolio, or how you can manage your portfolio. The process of management of portfolio will go through three different steps. First, we will go for the planning. You can see on the blackboard I have written there the step in the portfolio process. The first step is the planning. Under the planning, you need to first understand the need of your client. You need to understand the objective of the client, the income what they are having for their investment, or what are the different constraints they are having. By taking all the important consideration about the risk appetite of the investor, you need to prepare a investor policy statement. The policy statement of the client is having all the parameters which tell you that what are the basic objective, basic constraint, and different risk and return expectation of the investor out of their portfolio. So in planning, you need to understand the client need, and second is to preparation of the investor policy statement. The second step will moving to the execution. In execution, after you understand the client need, you understand what your client is searching for, what type of instrument you can, if you are an investment advisor, you must think that how your client, what type of instrument or what type of financial alternative which are available in the market which fulfill the need and requirement of your client. That is already done in the part of planning. Now you are coming to the execution, that how you can fulfill the requirement or the objective or taking the constraint of the client under consideration. You need to see the asset allocation. In asset allocation, you will need to see that how the composition of asset will be taken, how much amount of capital will be allocated in the risky asset, how much amount of the capital will be allocated in the risk-free asset or less risky asset, or you can say the aggressive asset and a conservative asset. It means maybe the composition of debt equity. Think that your client want to have a portfolio in which he wants to have 50-50% of both type of asset, risky and risk free. So you can construct according to the composition, according to the requirement of your client, that what will be the asset allocation of the client. Now after allocation, that how much you are going to allocate in the debt instrument, how much you are going to allocate in the risky asset, then you are moving to the security analysis. Under security analysis, you will go for the fundamental analysis of the security, you will go for the technical analysis of the security, you need to surf the market and understand what are the different security which are undervalued, which are having a good perspective to grow in the future. After analyzing the different security, you are going to construct the portfolio. In the phase of security analysis, you are doing a fundamental analysis. Under fundamental analysis, you are going to understand the economy, understand the industry which are having a good growth perspective. After industry, you need to screen out the different companies which are promising and which are giving a good which are the good performer in particular industry. After screening out the different company, you are going for the detailed analysis of that company, and with these analysis you can calculate the intrinsic value or the actual worth of the stock, and at what price in present that stock is trading in the market. After comparing the two price, what the price actually the particular stock is having in the market and what is the actual worth of that stock, basically tell you that particular stock is undervalued or overvalued. If it is overvalued, then you need to sell that particular asset at that point of time. You do not need to buy that particular asset. But if it is undervalued, then you can buy particular asset, because the undervalued asset is having a perspective to grow in the future. After the security analysis, under the security analysis, you also go for the stock analysis, you go for the bond and debenture analysis, and after doing this all, you are having a bunch of security in the hand which you want to select in your portfolio. Now after selecting or filtering out the different companies and different stock, you are going to construct a portfolio. Under portfolio construction, you need to keep in the mind the risk and return parameter, that what is the expectation of return, what is the expected risk, what you want from your security or what you want from your present portfolio, and how much risk appetite or how much the risk you are ready to absorb or digest, that how much risk you are taking, and for taking that risk, how much amount of return you are expecting. That is the basic parameter when we are constructing. And the second concept is the concept of diversification. We never put all the assets at one particular company or in one type of assets, because if you are not going through the concept of diversification, then you are exposed to a huge amount of risk, because your return is only dependent on one particular type of company or one particular type of assets. If that particular asset is not performing good, then your expected return may not be fulfilled. You may be exposed to too much risk. Your capital may be depreciated in the place of appreciation. And if you are going through a concept of diversification, you may combine different type of assets in your portfolio, then your risk can be diversified. If one particular industry or one particular company is not performing good, then also maybe the other type of industry or other type of company is performing good, or maybe they are flat, but it may give you the give you the risk and return trade-off. Here you can diversify the risk and minimize the risk with the concept of diversification. Now the last is the feedback. Feedback here in the part of third step, which is the final step of the portfolio management process. Under the feedback, you will going for the portfolio monitoring and rebalancing. Under the monitoring, whatever the portfolio you have constructed, you need to evaluate and monitor that portfolio again and again, and seeing that what the expected return, what you required from your portfolio is fulfilling, what is the market scenario, whatever the stock you have selected in your portfolio is now performing well, or it need to be replaced by a few other good performing stocks in the market, or the asset allocation what your client is decided at the time of portfolio construction, that how much will be allocated to the debt instrument, how much will be allocated to the risky asset. You need to see that particular allocation is already maintained or not. If it is not maintained, you need to revise your portfolio or rebalance your portfolio again, so that the asset allocation may be restored. Now the last one is the performance measurement and reporting. Performance in under the performance measurement, you need to measure the actual return and risk what you are having from your portfolio, and you can take a different performance measurement parameters. Maybe the SARPE performance evaluation you can take, maybe you can take a Tenor performance index and Jensen performance index. These three type of performance index we will go for a detailed discussion in the next class when I am taking the particular topic performance evaluation. At this particular time, due to the lack of time, time or time constraint, I am stopping myself here, and thank you for listening me.